Hello, delightful humans of the interwebs. Welcome to eSpot Live. I am Ellie. This is Rodney. Rodney's my emotional support duck, and he keeps me sane. I mean, relative. It's relative. But, yeah. Happy Thursday. The week is nearing the end. Yeah, G-Man, sane? Question mark? Relative. It's relative. I've got Silly here, I've got G-Man here, I've got Panda here. I'm so excited, guys! That was... that didn't quite work, with my voice, but that's okay. That just means I need water. I was just watching myself in the little box there, and I realized that this is one of those shirts that will just, like, soak in all the water, and it will be obvious if I drop it on myself. I know I've expressed that concern before. So, disclaimers. First is actually, I'm gonna, save my interwebs spiel. And I'm not gonna lead with that, even though I kind of just did. The first disclaimer I want to mention is that I reset my sound settings, essentially. Something happened, and it reset right before I went live. So please let me know if the background music is too loud or not loud enough, or whatever the case may be. My typical goal is to have it so there's not like awkward dead air when I pause. Yeah. But I also don't want it to be distracting. That's the goal. Let me know. I can adjust it. Super exciting stuff. The next disclaimer is the usual. My interwebs. Seems to be working, knock on wood. But you just never know. Silly saying, sounds good currently, seems to be an okay balance, but could stand to be a smidge higher. See, that's what I thought, which is odd. Because I typically actually have the settings set much lower, so I don't know what changed. It's fine. Everything's fine. Video is clear. It is a miracle, guys. If you've been watching for the last week or so, you know I've had quite the adventure with my interwebs. I didn't do anything. I have not been able to figure out how to fix it. So if it's working, my internet provider decided to provide internet? I don't know. That's where we're at. But yeah, the disclaimer with that is the same as always, in that if something goes to get a bit weird and I don't notice, please do let me know. And I'll do my best to either troubleshoot, try to fix things if I can, but more likely just kind of continue giving disclaimers and make sure that I'm not missing information, essentially. If there's chunks that disappear, I repeat it. That's about it. That's all we can do. But thanks for the feedback. I did bump the music up a little bit. I think we're at an okay balance. It looks okay on my end, but again, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Let me know. I think that's it for housekeeping. I can't think of any other disclaimers that I needed to share today, but now I'm a little concerned that I'm forgetting something. That's okay. If I forget something, we'll get back to it later. Anyways, thank you. Welcome. I'm stoked to be here. We're so close to the weekend. I'm really excited for that. Yay! And on that note, let's dive in. If you are new or watching this back and have no clue what eSpot Live is a little stream where I get my hands on some news topics pertaining to the entertainment industry, and I babble about them, and we have fun. Here we are. We actually get to start with some super exciting news. I feel like the last couple of episodes in between panicking over my internet, I've just had some bummer topics. But I'm excited for today. We got some good news. First up, DC Fandom is returning this October. And I am stoked. Again, if you've seen any of these before, you probably know that I'm a nerd, but also big DC fan, more of the TV universe than the movie universe. But there's some good stuff there. I am a fan, so there we go. DC Fandom is following up its massive 2020 event with a virtual gathering in 2021. This was announced by DC Comics on Wednesday. The official quote says, "This October, you're invited to DC Fandom." This was a video tweeted by DC Comics, and yeah, I'm super excited. So the first DC Fandom kicked off in August as a massive 24-hour event, and then at the last minute, it split into 2 separate days and allowed some of its programming to be more spread out, while content was also given an opportunity to be created for the later event behind the scenes. This first event featured movie and TV announcements, DC Comics publishing content and events, and other things. Now, as the future of DC movie world looks to be hopefully finding its footing, the new event will have plenty of titles to pull from on the movie front. Just to name a few, obviously there's the Suicide Squad being released before this event, but there's also to talk about, there's going to be Black Adam, there's going to be Shazam, Fury of the Gods, The Flash, The Batman, as well as HBO Max's Peacemaker series. Those are just some of the things they're going to get to talk about. I'm always hopeful. Even if I'm not, like I said, I'm more of a fan of the Arrowverse than the DC cinematic universe. But I'm always hopeful, and they've got so many things that are potentially going to be amazing. So I am choosing to just stay the excited nerd that I like to be. And I'm really, really looking forward to this event. It's also going to be featuring a lot of comic content, which is also awesome. It's going to have updates and panels for the DC TV shows, which are on the CW and HBO Max. So, yeah, for anyone who's even a smidgen as excited as I am, DC Fandom is returning on October 16th of 2021. We do not know yet if there's going to be any sort of in-person element to this event. That remains to be seen. The event is billing itself as a global event, which does kind of seem to be leaning into the virtual nature of it. And that allows fans to connect from around the world at the same time, which is pretty cool. But if there's any additional news, if they decide to add on to it, there's so many changes going on this year, especially with these big events. People are kind of like being like, yes, we're doing in person, never mind, we can't. And then some people are being like, it's virtual. Oh, wait, we have the opportunity to add on to it. So the official announcement is October 16th, 2021, DC Fandom. The unofficial thing is, if there's an additional live event or anything like that that is added, we will update you, but nothing has been confirmed. I always like to emphasize that because I feel like a bunch of people in the entertainment industry, myself included, like to get super excited before things actually exist or happen. So this is my way of not hyping something that I kind of really want to happen. Anyways. Completely unrelated. Ironheart is getting a show. I guess it's not completely unrelated. It's comic related, right? Different comic. It's not DC, but it's still super exciting. Transitions, man. It's just every single time. So yeah, Ironheart is going to be getting a limited set TV show. There are words for that I missed, but that's fine. And I'm super excited about that. So writing on Ironheart is set to begin. The series is going to be 6 episodes long. Ironheart was first introduced in 2016. Riri Williams is a genius inventor. She built her own Iron Man type suit and took up the mantle of Ironheart shortly after Tony Stark died in the comics. She's become a very popular fan favorite since her introduction, and with Tony Stark dying in the MCU, Marvel Studios has realized that this is the perfect time to introduce the character to a wider audience. I feel like the background music is getting super loud, but maybe it's just me. Again, let me know in the chat. So yeah, Marvel is officially introducing an iconic comic book character into the I don't even know if I can call it MCU anymore. Cinematic universe, but it's really expanded heavily into the TV sphere now. But it's still it's a very cinematic experience, I think. Yeah, background music. I don't know, this song just got super excited to be here. Check out Zombie in a Jar on Spotify. Alright, I'm gonna keep my eye on it and turn it down if it gets super loud again. Thank you for that feedback. So yeah, Ironheart. Really, really exciting thing. I'm super stoked. I love, like I said, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Chef's kiss. It's been a beautiful ride, and now expanding into these limited series, I think has been an absolutely brilliant move on Marvel's end. It essentially allows them to make 6-hour movies for each individual character. It's lovely. And now we're getting Ironheart, which is, I think, going to be a lot of fun. Panda approves of my little promotion there. Wasn't on purpose, but I'll take it. Any opportunity to promote Zombie in a Jar on Spotify. Since I'm shamelessly pitching, check out Doomsday in particular. You might hear a familiar voice. Anyways, focusing. I'm so good at this. This particular series was announced as part of Disney's investor Disney's investor call back in December 2020. And it was also confirmed that Judas and the Black Messiah star Dominique Thorne was cast as the title character. So that we've kind of known, but recently Tanaka Hodge was hired as the head writer on the series, which now seems to be setting up for development sooner rather than later. According to Aaron Couch from THR, Ironheart is going to be 6 episodes long. The writer's room will be opening in May to begin developing the series with Hodge as the head writer. And there's currently no word on when production will start. But again, that's fine. Super exciting. Marvel has this down pretty well, I think, with the timing and everything else. They're very good at rolling things out. They've got a lot of content coming out between now and when this would be due to come out. So, lots going on there. Super exciting stuff. Again, a good time, I think, to talk about, like, getting super excited about things before they exist, but also, like, setting that realistic expectation about when it's going to happen. So, Writer's Room being opened in May means that it hasn't even, the scripts don't exist yet. Like, they know what they want, they know who they want, they have all of this together, but there's still a lot of work to be done, and then you're gonna get pre-production, then you're gonna get filming, then you're gonna get post-production, then there's going to be, who knows, and then we'll get to see it, and this is really exciting stuff. But it's not happening, like, now. It's happening in the future. But I'm really looking forward to it. Also, Ironheart being 6 episodes means the series is going to be following the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki setup of the 6 one-hour episodes, as opposed to the 9 to 10 episode setups of WandaVision, Ms. Marvel, and She-Hulk, which have been confirmed to be half-hour programs. The series writing room assembling in May. Because it's assembled. Anyways, that's going to give them plenty of time, as Marvel Studios does not have a shortage of programs. Hawkeye just recently wrapped filming. So excited for all of these guys. Ms. Marvel is done with production, almost. Sorry, I misspoke a little bit. Almost done with production. That's an important word. She-Hulk has just begun filming, and Moon Knight should be following soon, which gives Disney Plus a whole lot of Marvel stuff coming out up until the middle of 2022. So we're good for a while. We got more stuff coming, more stuff being confirmed. I love this so much. While the series just hired their head writer and the scripts have not yet been written, the seeds of Ironheart could have already been planted in the MCU. We don't know yet. We'll have to kind of see as more and more things come out. So like in the comics, Riri Williams is entering a Marvel universe without a Tony Stark. And with the plot of Armor Wars confirming that Stark technology will find its way out to the public, there's a chance that the series could be closely tied in with Ironheart. With various younger heroes joining the MCU like Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop, Cassie Lang, there is a chance that Ironheart could be part of the Young Avengers. The fact that Marvel has already cast the character before a showrunner or scripts are written indicates fans may be seeing Williams pop up in another MCU property first before she dons the suit. That's also something that Marvel tends to do a lot, is kind of introduce characters as cameos and whatnot in other people's films or TV shows to give us a hint, to get us excited. I'm already excited. Give me anything superhero and I'm gonna get stoked about it. I don't even care what it is, guys. Anyways, let's talk McDonald's. So good at transitions, guys. McDonald's is actually teaming up with, wait for it, I did not see this coming. Again, these crossovers that I just cannot anticipate. I am living for this. McDonald's is teaming up with BTS in order to let fans get the band's favorite order. This is not the first time McDonald's has kind of teamed up with different celebrities to promote things. But this might be their most ambitious project. McDonald's teaming up with yet another musical global powerhouse, BTS. Fans of the band will be able to buy its favorite McDonald's order, and here's the kicker, almost 50 different countries. So this is not the first time that McDonald's will highlight a celebrity's favorite order, but it is the first time that they're going to be celebrating a celebrity's favorite order in, like, multiple markets. The promotion will start rolling out May 26th. McDonald's has been using its famous orders promotions to reintroduce consumers to its core menu items, like the Quarter Pounder burger. So the company kicked off the marketing strategy in September by teaming up with rapper Travis Scott. His order was so popular that it caused Quarter Pounder shortages for some McDonald's locations. And McDonald's executives told investors that the company hit multiple records across its social media accounts when the collaboration was announced. Then there was the follow-up deal with singer J Balvin. That also boosted sales. But McDonald's is looking to surpass all of its prior success with this particular BTS collaboration. This band is absolutely known for its diehard supporters. They call themselves the Army. They've helped make K-pop mainstream all over the place. The record company behind the band, Big Hit Entertainment, went public on the Korea Exchange. I don't think I said that sentence correctly, but that's okay. They went public on the Korean Exchange in October, and the band's fans joined in retail investors to help the shares pop during the stock's first day of trading. This signature order is going to include either a 9 or 10-piece chicken McNugget, depending on the market, as well as a medium fry, medium drink, and sweet chili and Cajun dipping sauces inspired by recipes from McDonald's South Korea. I am bizarrely excited to just kind of watch this happen. I enjoy fast food every now and again, but I don't eat it very often. And I feel like this is gonna be interesting to watch happen. It also sounds like a sauce that would be absolutely delicious, but something I'd be allergic to, unfortunately. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to people trying it and telling me how it is. And I am also looking forward to telling you guys to be kind to the McDonald's workers when you're all excited and getting your BTS orders and they're out of things, because it's going to happen. This is a massive endeavor. Like I said, 50 different countries, multiple continental markets of McDonald's here. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna lean into that to end up this topic, is be kind to your retail and fast food workers. When they run out of your McChicken nuggets, chicken McNuggets, not McChicken nuggets, but close enough. When they run out, inevitably, it's not because they ate them themselves. It's not their fault. Be nice, but also get excited, because I think it's super fun. I love stuff like that. That was a lot of ums. That's fine. Next up is another team up that, again, I did not see coming. Crossover event that involves Final Fantasy XIV. Very proud of myself for being able to read that number, by the way, when I first started covering this, or looking into this topic. Took me a minute, not gonna lie. Anyways, Final Fantasy XIV is teaming up with, drumroll please, Butterfingers. Okay, maybe I'm the only one who's like, what? And it's not even just Final Fantasy and Butterfinger, it's Final Fantasy and Butterfinger teaming up with DLC and charity stream. So a lot of really cool stuff happening here. Final Fantasy at 14 and Butterfinger are teaming up for this new promotion. It's going to involve exclusive DLC. The MMORPG, that's a mouthful, kind of had a bit of a rough launch. When it was first released, players were both overwhelmed and underwhelmed by the structure of the new take on the franchise when it was first released. But thankfully, since then, there have been various improvements, a bunch of expansions that have been released, which has effectively turned it into one of the most successful MMORPGs on the market. So now that this game is in open beta on PS5, the community is more active than ever before, and this is where Butterfinger comes into play. In yet another play by the Game Better with Butterfinger initiative, the chocolate brand is partnering with the online Final Fantasy title to deliver exclusive in-game content from May 3rd to June 30th. And if you are interested in earning while you snack, the limited time promotion requires a purchase of $5 worth of Butterfinger bars to get a special Choco Poker mount. So you buy the candy, you show proof of purchase with a receipt, you upload said proof of purchase of receipt to the website when it becomes live on May 3rd, and you get to claim the mount for your own. So, Choco Poker. I can't say it right, that's fine. Odd name, right? It's a combination of chocolate and core poker, which is also really hard to say. Kind of witty there. And so it gives Butterfinger a twist to the popular core poker Colossus mount that is already available. Somebody correct my pronunciation in the chat, because I know I am butchering that. And I gotta say, I did research to try to figure out how to pronounce it, and all I got was a bunch of people on YouTube who also could not pronounce it. Anyways, I tried. This particular mount is perfect for players who crave speed and allow dedicated fans of Final Fantasy XIV to travel by land, air, and sea while conquering their foes. But it's not just chocolate and a shiny new mount that's going on here. This initiative is also doing good. It's giving back thanks to a partnership with Extra Life for charity. A June 3rd stream is scheduled with some big names in the Twitch community. This is going to raise funds for the Children's Miracle Network to support over 170 hospitals across North America. And Butterfinger has also announced that with this team up, they're going to be donating an additional $50,000 match to Extra Life. So, go grab some chocolate, go play a great game, and know that you're giving back and doing good in the world while you're at it. That's a solid team up there, in my personal opinion. I like chocolate very, very, very much. So I think this is a good deal. I like chocolate, I like charity, I like games. It's a fun mashup there. I think it's time for water. So good at transitions, guys. This is the regularly scheduled water break where I lecture you guys about hydration. Hydration station. Hydrate or dihydrate. This just will never not be at least a little bit awkward, but it's fine. Yeah. Beverages are great. If Jedi Roxy's like lurking somewhere, yes, chalky milk is all good, grand, lovely. There's a time and place. But your kidneys need water. So let's all love our kidneys, drink some water, and I'll be right back. hydrated, and I didn't even get water on my shirt. And I'm really glad, because I forgot about the fact that, again, I'm wearing a shirt that, like, really, really shows water droplets. And I just kind of, like, chugged a bunch of water. But I managed not to spill. I'm very proud of myself. That probably sounds really weird for those of you who do not know that I am clumsier than almost anybody you'll ever meet. It's a skill, really, a talent. I take pride in my clumsiness. But we're back. We're excited. We're hydrated. Yay! Hopefully you guys got some water too. I gave you time for it. No excuses. Next up in actual topics that I'm supposed to be babbling about is Monster Hunter World, the board game. Did you see that coming? Possibly. Monster Hunter World, the board game, has seen a massive success on Kickstarter. The developer, Steamforged Games, is adding a limited edition Poogie miniature for some Kickstarter backers to celebrate. This has been reported by IGN. A Kickstarter exclusive limited edition figure of Poogie, the well-known little pig present throughout Monster Hunter's history, will be included in rewards for all core pledge and all-in pledge backers of Monster Hunter World, the board game. Charlotte Cloud, Steamforged Games PR manager, says this is to say thanks to those who've backed the project so it can come to life. And, I mean, guys, it's so cute. It's so cute. It really, really is. The official tabletop adaptation of Capcom's Monster Hunter World is being crowdfunded on Kickstarter until Friday, April 30th. So if you want to get in on it now, because it's closing down tomorrow. The goal was $208,120. Very random number. That was the goal. The goal was met in approximately 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding, guys. They hit the goal in 10 minutes. That's how popular this is. Currently, the game has over $4 million in pledges from more than 16,000 backers. And that was when this was written. So, it's going. It's going well. This game is a cooperative arena combat board game with an open world. It includes figures for different hunters wielding a variety of weapons from bow to great sword. It's also got figures and stats for a variety of well-known monsters straight from the video game. An entry pledge is going to get backers the Ancient Forest base set with monsters like Rathalos, while a core pledge grants the additional Wildspire Waste standalone core set with 4 more extra-large monster miniatures, plus the Kickstarter exclusive Kuluyaku. I think I said those. Anyways. The all-in pledge grants backers all of the above, plus 3 Elder Dragon expansions, and then some. So there's a lot going on here. And then as for Poogie's role in the board game, Steamforged Games took inspiration directly from the video game. You can pet the Poogie as one of 3 downtime activities during each campaign day. The rule book reads, quote, "Pet the Poogie. Some believe this brings you luck. Others believe this is a myth," end quote. Steamforged Games is also responsible for developing Horizon Zero Dawn, the board game, Resident Evil 2, the board game, and more video game-inspired tabletop adventures. I love tabletop games. I really, really do. I very much enjoy them. I think this is fantastic, especially Poogie the Pig. I think it's gonna be fun. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. Apparently 16,000 other people agree and have raised more than $4 million. It's gonna be a good game. Silly says, I was just looking at the Horizon Zero Dawn board game yesterday. There you go. Now there's more for you. I'm stoked. Especially, like, things like this for me just give me a lot of hope for when I'm gonna be able to safely play games like this with my friends in person again. It's like, it's coming. We're getting there, slowly but surely, but we are not there yet, so still be safe, please. But yay, board games! So, I'm so excited. I love tabletop games like this. It's just, the world is your oyster. So much fun. Get to pet a pig. Good times. And then next up in world-changing, shocking developments that have never been seen before, Google Stadia now has a search bar. So there's that. This is actually amazing, legitimately amazing news for those who play games with Stadia. This is the streaming service from Google. Google, which is, by the way, the worldwide leader in searching. I just want to throw that out there. Google Stadia now has a search function! Woo! Not for everyone yet, though, because the blog post on Wednesday said that the search would reach all players this week. So it may not have rolled out for you quite yet, but it's getting there. And this will, quote, make finding your favorite games much easier, end quote. Bold statement. So for those of you who might be counting, that is approximately 526 days since Google Stadia launched before it added the function that made Google essential to all phases of modern life. My question was, when I saw this, how did one navigate the 172 Google Stadia game library before? If there was no search bar. I don't understand. Apparently people just, like, paged through, like it was I don't know, a book or something. This is crazy. I am obviously kind of playing into the hyperbole here. As Silly says, painfully slowly, I would guess. Right? I'm all for books. I'm all for kind of low-tech, phone book. I think it's important to be able to pick up a dictionary and find what you need. Great. All of that's fine. I don't want to bring that into technology. Like, if I wanted to page through something to try to find something, I'd go to a book. Like, this blows my mind, but it got fixed, so yay! Also, what's kind of hilarious is Stadia's forum post about the groundbreaking search capability is full of, I genuinely don't know if they're serious replies, praising the user interface's giant leap for mankind. For example, one of the subscribers said, quote, "Yes, keep it coming! Did platform my backside. Looking forward to that Explore tab refresh." Oh, man. So, the dead platform feint references the less enthusiastic feeling many have for Google's gaming endeavor 2 years after a headline-dominating announcement at GDC 2019, plus the fact that Google shut down its internal studio and first-party development for its platform, which I did talk about on an earlier stream. In February, Kotaku quoted an unnamed insider as calling Google, quote, "a terrible place to make games. Imagine Amazon, but under-resourced," end quote. Anyways, if folks are really this fired up about a search engine, they will love what's on deck. Sortable libraries, so players can group their collection by free, purchased, and Stadia Pro access games, and an activity feed. It's almost like they're catching up to the age of the internet or something. I'm impressed. I genuinely did not know that this wasn't a thing, and I cannot wrap my head around Google putting out a gaming platform that didn't have a search function. Like, that brings me more joy than it should, really. Like, I don't know why I'm saying like so much all of a sudden, but like, there it is. No, but genuinely, I'm going through this and trying to identify that emotion that I'm experiencing, and it's genuine joy. This is just fantastic. Everything about that makes me giggle. So yeah, for those of you who have been, like, actually waiting for this, congrats! It's here! Woohoo! Everyone else, we could just giggle. Alright, so next up is a little bit of an update. I don't know if we can even call it a full update, but a little bit. We're gonna dive back into ye old Fortnite versus Apple shenanigans. In a new document, it has been revealed that PlayStation is Fortnite's most popular platform, not mobile devices. I'll get to how this is relevant. So earlier this month, we learned that the iOS version of Fortnite was a huge revenue driver for Epic Games, right? That's what Apple put out. That's like big information. The game earned more than $700 million from iOS customers over 2 years before it was pulled by Apple. This was according to court documents released ahead of Epic's trial against the iPhone maker. But even as this number comes out, right, the $700 million revenue, iOS Fortnite players obviously brought in a staggering amount of money for Epic, for normal people, right? Turns out, that's not the biggest platform in terms of revenue for the game. Actually, it's one of the smallest! When I talk about the fact that this is more money than I can wrap my head around, this is what I mean. I feel like I'm getting super loud, I'm sorry. So these court documents reveal, right, that PlayStation 4 was actually the highest generator at 46.8% of Fortnite's total revenues from March 2018 through July 2020, while Xbox One, the second highest platform, generated 27.5%. iOS ranked 5th, providing just 7% of total revenue. 7%. $700 million was 7% of the total revenue. Just so we're clear. And then the remaining 18.7% would have been split between Android, Nintendo Switch, and PCs. So, in 2020, iOS revenues were projected to be an even smaller piece of the pie at just 5.8%, compared to the 24% for Xbox One and almost 40% for PlayStation 4. This is according to a new deposition of Epic Games, David Nickdell, a senior programmer who works on the back-end services for Fortnite. So, then the lawyers are asking questions of Epic's CFO in a separate deposition, that whether iOS was always the lowest or second lowest, if Android was listed. And that answer was yes, that iOS was always one of the lowest earners for Fortnite, which just blows my mind. Again, Epic's CFO, Joe Babcock, explicitly confirmed that the iOS version of Fortnite earned less revenue month to month than PlayStation 4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. iOS's low revenues compared to the other platforms might not be entirely surprising, based on past comments from Epic CEO Tim Sweeney and the fact that they were willing to go to legal war over, like, undermining that platform. I don't imagine they would have pulled that stunt if they were getting half of their revenue from Apple. But yeah, he said in a declaration that Fortnite on iOS represented 10% of the game's total average daily player in the 2 years from when the game launched to when it was pulled from the App Store in August. So yeah, Fortnite is considered to be a billion-dollar business all on its own. In 2019, it reportedly brought in $1.8 billion in revenue by itself. Epic projected company-wide revenue of $3.85 billion in 2020 to give you some idea of how big Fortnite is compared to, like, everything else that Epic does. So there's a lot happening there. Thanks to these court documents being released ahead of the trial, we're getting a better idea of where Fortnite makes most of its money. And despite the huge amount of dollars flying around mobile games right now, PlayStation and Xbox seem to account for the massive bulk of Fortnite's earnings. This is kind of making Epic's choice, like I said before, to fight Apple and Google on this make a bit more sense. Because even if they completely alienate the App Store companies, Epic can bank on Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo to just continue raking in the cash. So, that... I don't even know where to start with my thoughts on this. I have been following this court case because it just fascinates me, in a kind of morbid way, but also just, I like legal stuff. It's my jam. But yeah, this new information was staggering for me in just kind of wrapping my head around, but also makes things make, like I said, a lot more sense. And it just makes me wonder even more how this is going to play out, because as it turns out, it almost does not matter if Epic loses. to them. It matters a little bit. $700 million is a lot of money. But first of all, they're getting free press. Like, this is generating a lot of press for all of the companies involved. Which also brings up other thoughts, but we won't go down that hole. But also, like, even if they lost that revenue entirely, they'd still be earning a ridiculous amount of money. There's just a lot there. I don't even know where to go with this from here. But there's kind of the next update. I try to update you guys whenever more information about this court case comes to light. Again, mostly selfishly because I think it's fascinating, but also because this is going to carry an impact across probably actually multiple industries. This is going to be a precedent-setting case regardless of how the ruling goes. So we are going to keep an eye on out. But this, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts at all, but this was an interesting development for my brain in processing this, and also just wondering how it's going to go when it does hit courts. Now, pretty soon. It's the court case, or the court date is set for this summer, I believe. So we shall see, and as always, whenever there's more drama, updates of the case to share, I will share it. Next up to chat about is a bit of Activision. I feel like they've also been hitting news a bit recently for different reasons, and this time round, it's because the CEO is taking a 50% pay cut. Not necessarily of his own volition, which is interesting. So, Bobby Kotick has been CEO of Activision Blizzard since it was just Activision. For the past 30 years, he has steered the company as just one of many video game publishers to where it is today as one of the world's largest video game producers and a Fortune 500 company. Some of that success is definitely due to Kotick's leadership, but a growing chorus of industry analysts have started accusing him of taking more credit than he's actually due. And worse, getting paid for it. It's almost like he's a CEO or something. So AsYouSow.com named Bobby Kotick as the 19th most overpaid CEO in 2020. And CTW Investment Group, one of Activision Blizzard's investors, has frequently criticized his compensation as being wildly out of touch with his actual performance. You know, normally I feel like this is where we'd end, right? And then we just all sink down into an angry blob of how absurd wealth inequality has gotten in the cyberpunk dystopia we found ourselves in currently. But this time, something weird happened. Because a recent SEC filing told the government agency that Activision Blizzard plans to cut Bobby Kotick's salary by 50%. This is bringing it from $1.75 million to just $875,000. This is coming after the Activision Blizzard chairman of the compensation committee spent the past 12 months studying the issue of his compensation. So the SEC filing said, quote, "The board worked with the company and has established a pay program for the CEO that reflects shareholder feedback, incorporates market best practices, and continues to directly connect pay to performance." The new pay is designed to align with the anticipated bottom quartile of Activision Blizzard's peer group. That ends the quote. And also to align with payments made to other CEOs. Similarly, in addition to this, several awards were also removed from Kotick's pay package, which was another target of frequent criticism from industry groups because they essentially allowed him to inflate his own pay without cap. This happens more often than you'd think. Yes, it is depressing. So the really, really good news. However, the same SEC filing did note that his new base pay could see a 200% bonus if certain performance targets are met. So it's still ridiculous, just so we're clear. We're still looking at $875,000 per year with up to a 200% bonus if he hits the marks. I have thoughts. Too many thoughts. But again, I do want this to kind of end more positively, this is going to take Kotick off of the list of most overpaid CEOs for at least a year. That's very good news. And I think, honestly, this is just very much highlighting wage disparity across the board, right? If this is a 50% cut and it's revolutionary and he's still getting paid out the wazoo. But I think it's a good move. It means something, at least. It has to mean, hopefully it means something, at least. Because, you know, this is at least the board. If nothing else, it's the board listening to shareholders, which is what is technically supposed to happen. I feel like we don't see it that often, necessarily. But, again, now every single time I say but, I'm just going to think of the drinking game from How I Met Your Mother. Shots, 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 shots. Anyways, just catching up with the chat really quick. Sorry, I just got quiet for a second. Silly saying, it's very interesting. All I keep thinking is how much money $700 million is. And that was in reference to the previous topic when we were chatting about Fortnite. And I just... both of these, it's insane to me how much money doesn't really mean much money to rich people. But alas, still movement. And interesting to observe, if nothing else. But yeah, I feel like if I go too deep into my own personal thoughts on both of these topics, this is just a hole we won't dig ourselves out of until, you know, next week. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up. But food for thought for y'all. CEO pay and Fortnite. That's all of the official news topics that I'm sharing with you guys. However, I have a little bit of an actual thing to report to you guys from DVSI Entertainment. Official statement that I am so excited about. This has been a long time coming, but we're very, very proud of what we were able to make happen. We've finally been able to update Awoken. We did not think it would take this long. There was a lot that went into it, a lot that happened behind the scenes. COVID affects everyone. But we've done it. We're very, very proud of it. We're super excited. Awoken is available on Steam. And it is new, improved, and updated. And we're just like, I'm so excited. I'm terrified because it's a horror. But I'm so excited, guys. We finally got this. We're still working on it, too. I don't want you to think we did like a one-and-done update and we're just never looking at it again. We are going to continue to actively work on this game. This is our baby. This is our first released product. We're very, very proud of it. We're working on making it as good as it can be. We're still looking forward to the full version being released. There's so much happening. And I can hype it now because it happened! Yay! Super, super stoked. So, just a couple of the changes that have been made from, or by our very hardworking developers. They've improved overall game performance. There was an issue with, if you were able to play the game before, the batteries drained super weirdly and or quickly in the game. And that's a huge element of the gameplay, is the batteries, so that was fixed. Some of the in-game lighting was fixed. Some of the monster animations were fixed. There's a lot more too. And there's new audio in the game. Just throwing that out there. I'm just gonna go ahead and pitch that. There's new audio. Maybe some voiceover here and there. We're super, super, super excited. And you guys should check it out if you have not already. If you enjoy horror, check out Awoken on Steam. If you do not enjoy horror, check out Awoken on Steam. I'm so good at the shameless plugs. Also, completely unrelated to this topic entirely, we've got something special planned for the next eSpot Live. Get excited for Monday. Again, completely unrelated. Just we're just gonna have a surprise. We're super stoked about it. So those are my two big announcements to kind of wrap up tonight with. Is Woken has been updated. We are so excited about it. And tune in Monday. I am going to be here, and it'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. if you're on the other coast. That is a shift from what it used to be. I feel like if you're watching this, you probably know this by now, because I went live at 9 p.m. or 6 p.m. if you're on the other coast. But yeah. I feel like, again, this happened at the beginning, too. I feel like there was an announcement that I was meant to say that I didn't. Zombie Ninja, Spotify, new album, super stoked about it. Awoken, updated, super stoked about it. I'll be back on Monday. Super stoked about it. Also, since I'm shamelessly pitching things, check out Elevated on Twitch tomorrow at 9. Hey, there we go, silly. Elevated will be streaming. Elevated is me. I'm talking about myself in third person. Do you have an idea for what I'm gonna play tomorrow? I'm gonna kind of kick it and be a little bit more chill with a game that was gifted to me called Little Inferno, I think is what it's called. I was promised that it would be more chill than what I attempted to play last week. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, yeah. Watch me butcher a video game tomorrow night. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Western Time. Pacific Time, I think is what it's called by actual people. And if I don't see you then have the best weekend. Just have an absolutely amazing weekend. Make sure that you guys are staying safe and happy and healthy and hydrated. Love your kidneys. They love you. And as always, above all, make sure that you stay devious.